So welcome ladies and gentlemen to this webinar. My name is Fabian Lim and I'm CEO of worldinternetcamera.com. Today the webinar is targeted towards the beginner, and it is hoped that the webinar would benefit you tremendously. And those of you who are starting out in your internet marketing journey, it is hoped that you will avoid the common mistakes that people make when they try to learn internet marketing. I have several questions which I will poll the audience just to have an understanding as to those of you who are attending live right now in terms of your background and expertise. But even if you're totally new to internet marketing, this is going to be the perfect platform for you to understand and make sense of the Wild West of internet marketing. So I want to share with you a model which is so dear to me, because just like any business, you really need to be able to follow a structured system such that regardless of how many businesses you have online, you're following a single focus model that works no matter how you look at it. So this 5-step system I'm going to be sharing with you is a system I've been training people all around the world, especially Asia, and many of my students today are full-time internet marketers. I'm very happy for them. But I guess the interesting point to note as well is that it's the same 5-step system I'm using for my professional internet marketing consultancy business, clickmedia.com.sg. So please don't take this 5-step lightly. In fact, you will spend your whole life trying to master each of the modules within the 5-step system. What this also suggests is that many of you out there are trying to make a living online, but you're kind of doing it randomly. And what I mean by randomly is that you focus on certain business models, you focus on an idea, but you forget to realize that a single idea has to be incorporated into a full workable model. Now, what do I mean by this? Well, I mean that in your randomness of trying to figure out how to start online, you may pick up a book that gives you an idea on how to make money using pay-per-click marketing, for example. But the problem with most resources out there, including ebooks, is that they give you half a picture and they don't really start you with a firm foundation. And many of the ebooks purportedly give you great business ideas and great methods to make money online, but there's a danger in doing that, in the sense that if you try to do PPC without having a firm foundation of what the basics of PPC are, how Google's pricing algorithm works, concepts like ad position, quality score, CTR, so on and so forth, if you don't understand the nuts and bolts of the inner workings of the Google AdWords PPC system, and you just go out there and follow an ebook recipe, let me tell you that it is dangerous, and in many cases it will lead to a disaster. Not because the ebook author intended for you to fail, but because of a weak foundation in pay-per-click marketing. You will find that by just reading a book and following some of the methods, it is easy to fall into traps. And unfortunately, 95% of marketers fall into this kind of traps. Why? Well, I guess because everyone is out there chasing after the latest money-making ideas. Yeah. But when you have a firm foundation, whatever you want to do, you will realize that if you have a good grasp of PPC marketing, the way I understand it, for example, yes, I can pick up a book. I can turn my $67 investment in the book to thousands of dollars, and that's because I pick up a new idea from someone, and I won't be proud to tell you that I don't learn from people. I still do learn from people. That's the best way to go about doing it. But in many cases, I can outperform the person who taught me the idea, and the reason is because my foundation in pay-per-click marketing is firm. I understand totally. So when I read a book, I understand how to take the strategies in context of what needs to be achieved. So let me say this again, that many of you, if you're feeling frustrated in internet marketing, it's probably because you are trying to learn internet marketing techniques and strategies through bite-sized pieces, learning from too many different people. You get totally confused and you're left high and dry. So again, regardless of your expertise, I'm going to walk through with you my 5-step system. And remember, this is recorded, so you can forever and ever again come back and review to make sure that when you read an ebook, the next time you read an ebook, you have to ask yourself, which module is this covering? Is this covering module 1, market research, or is this purely PPC? How do I find my market? What methods do I use? So this can be a great reference point. This video is going to be a great reference point to you, especially if you are a beginner in internet marketing, because it's going to save you a lot of money and a lot of frustration. And also, for those of you who are more experienced marketers, it is hoped that this video will allow you to better explain internet marketing to your friends and family by just passing them this video as is and let the video do the explanation. That's probably the best gift you can ever give anyone, because I can tell that my entire family, my brothers, my sisters-in-laws, and some of the relatives, everyone now is doing internet marketing, and I'm very happy for them. It took them a while to embrace it, but now that they are hooked on it and they are making a living at home, that's I think is my greatest reward I can offer my family, and I think that you should do the same. Don't be selfish and keep all the strategies to yourself. I mean, if you can benefit your friends and your loved ones, why not get them involved as well? Because the more people that work on this business together, the more joy you have. And this being an internet marketing business, you can work with someone right across the globe, in the United States, for example, or in UK, anywhere. I mean, there's no barrier in geography to how far you can extend this business. And the last thing I'm going to say is this: many of you try to pursue internet marketing on your own, depend on your own expertise, and so on and so forth. Now, that's a mistake. In fact, one of my greatest accomplishments on internet marketing is having to start a joint venture with someone in Ukraine, someone I never knew about, and convince him to jointly market his software, which is a story I'm going to be sharing with you later on. So again, the world is round. There are many people out there with good talents but no marketing skills, and your job is to acquire the right internet marketing skills and go out there and source for the talents, because talents are many. People with internet marketing skills are few. With this regard, let's get into the meat of the presentation of the 5-step model. So this presentation, my techniques that I want to share with you, and this is something you will take a lifetime to master, is a very simple, behind the framework is a very simple 5-step model which has been proven with thousands of students, thousands of people. So this is totally validated already. You do not need to surf around aimlessly to try to figure out how to get started in internet marketing. This is it, the 5-step internet success model. So where do you begin? Now, in any business, any idea, any product, any affiliate program, you will start with market research. And it shouldn't be surprising for those of you who are more experienced. You want to take your ideas and go back to the 5-step system, because that's what I always do when I have a new idea, when I execute a new joint venture. I always get my foundation again. Remember that the greatest mistake that most people make is to assume that just because you have a great idea, you necessarily will become rich tomorrow. That's not true. Just because you're good at public speaking, that you should start a website. That's not true. So our anchoring always starts with two components. Number one, the market out there, which means you want to figure out what are people looking for online, what kind of problems they are facing, the opportunities out there, what are people buying, for example. And when you can identify market through simple market research techniques, you'll find that it is so much easier for you to move along. Central to our market research resource, we have a free resource that we use, and this free resource gives us a lot of opportunity to research the market. And of course, this is none other than the free AdWords tool.com, as you can see on your screen. Now again, a lot of more experienced marketers get complacent to say, yeah, I know that this is the website, I've been here before, I've searched, but I still end up with no ideas. Now if that's you, then let me tell you this, you're just not appreciating the power of this tool. And for those of you who are new to internet marketing, consider yourself very fortunate, because the tool in its current form was only made available to the public April 08, which was really just last year. It was only last year that Google provided us with volume data. And I'm going to go over to the search results right now and just give you a quick walkthrough on how I use a tool like this. So the first thing, of course, I open a web browser and entering freehourstool.com. And again, those of you who are a bit more experienced, let's take this as a revision, and hopefully you can explain internet marketing to your friends as clearly as I'm doing it for you. So keep it simple. First step, type in freehourstool.com, and the page should load with the Google AdWords website. Now, what is this tool about? This tool brings you behind the scenes to allow you to query the Google search database. Now, remember, every day there are hundreds of search terms or search queries being made in the Google search engine, and Google collects this data. And the purpose of this data, if you look at the top left corner, it says Google AdWords tool. So the purpose of this tool, the original purpose, was to help Google's pay-per-click advertisers figure out more keywords that they can use for their market. Now obviously Google has a self-serving purpose in this case. The more keywords, the ideas they give you, the more keywords you will use in your pay-per-click campaign and more money they make. So it's really a perfect analogy of teaching a man to fish. So that Google offers this facility so that you can brainstorm more keyword ideas and therefore use it in your paid search. But again, what many people don't realize is that you can use the same data for your SEO purposes, for your search engine optimization purposes, and get free traffic to your websites. Now, there's some basic ideas here with the tool, and it is the fact that it's a very simple tool to use. One of the most powerful features is your ability to mine what we call geo-targeted data or geo-targeted volume. How that works is that the default locality is going to be United States, and when you click on the United States link, what happens now is that there's a drop-down box, as you can see, and you're able to actually do market research. And again, let me tell you that this is a very simple tool, but many people don't know how to use this creatively. Now, let's say you have a client, you're doing some consulting, and your client is in Asia Pacific, and you want to figure out how to do a campaign for a particular topic. Well, because this tool allows you to multi-select, so I could, for example, select United States if I wanted to find out demand in major English-speaking countries. Well, I could what we call multi-select by now selecting United States, holding my control key down, and left clicking on the mouse to select Australia as well, and now I'm multi-selecting, as you can see right now. And I could do the same for Canada, for example, and now I have Canada, United States, and Australia. Three great English-speaking countries. I can add UK and so on and so forth. So this tool is immensely powerful in the sense that it can roll up geo-targeted data. But for those of you who are just totally new to this, keep it simple. For frame of reference, we always use the United States as the major online consumer market. It is true today that the United States is still the largest online consumer market. And our goal is to figure out what the average United States consumer is searching for purposes of marketing to them. So I'm going to leave it at United States right now. And the other thing you need to note is that based on the keywords that you search, Now, there are many approaches to keyword research, but just to keep it simple, if you want to find out about the overall picture of the market, whatever market you are in, it's always good to enter a single word as broad as possible, because you are now in the what we call initial research phase. And when you're in the initial research phase, you don't want to be entering too detailed a search term. You want to take a very top level picture as your initial approach. So let's say, for example, you want to talk about piano as a hobby, yeah, and obviously as a marketer, there are many approaches to the piano. I mean, being a musical instrument, yeah, you could be selling pianos, you could be offering or marketing online piano training. These are the two common products and services. And of course, as an affiliate, if you join ClickBank or you join Amazon.com, you have an ability to generate income by referring people who are in the piano market looking for either physical piano or piano lessons, and you make money. So let's try this example. I'm going to enter the word piano and enter the little puzzle here. And quite frankly, the puzzle is more difficult than, you see, I get it wrong sometimes. The puzzle is immensely difficult, yeah? No matter how hard you try. So what I'm doing now is to look at the market for piano, and I've been given the search results, which is all well and good. And the first thing I need to do when the result shows up is to sort the results. Now, obviously, at this current unsorted way, you're not going to be able to make sense on anything. So a sort is required, and I usually sort by last month, because the volume is going to be much more accurate. Yeah, so I'm going to click once to sort, and I get to see the entire piano market from largest to smallest. Now, not surprisingly, you see a single word like piano on the top of the volume results. Now, the reason for that is because most people who are clueless, in this case 13.6 million searches in February, type in the word piano. Now, this is an incredibly untargeted market with a single keyword. There are many things that they could be searching for, and you will have to ignore this market. This is a clueless market. It's not something you want to be focusing on. As a beginner, you also want to basically ignore all these large volume markets. And the reason for that is simply that with this kind of level of competition, it's going to be very difficult for you to go into it and succeed as a beginner, initially at least. Now, what you see here, this column is called advertiser competition, and this really means pay-per-click competition. The more green you have, in this case you see full green bar, Google says very high advertiser competition. So this is referring to the Google AdWords advertiser competition, not to the what we call organic search engine competition. Now remember, this tool was originally designed for pay-per-click marketers, and right now I don't see why you should even be focusing on piano as a keyword. Now, as you look down, you will see that there's a huge volume for piano tutorial, 368,000, and this is actually a very healthy search volume. And it's interesting to know that this key phrase, piano tutorial, is searched more often than piano lessons, which is something that I would consider more common as a search term. But well, people do search piano tutorial, and piano lessons refer to the same thing but different terminology. So this again is a very important point for you to note, the importance of understanding that the keywords all mean different things, and you, the marketer, need to figure out what market you want to go into. So when you look at piano lessons, you know it's some kind of tutorial, yeah. And at 246,000 with full competition, well, this is going to be a tough keyword for you to crack. Not that it is a market you should be cracking in the first place. Now remember, if you want to succeed in internet marketing, you have to identify a market that you can go in, conquer, and win. That has to be the criteria. And there's no point for you trying to go into a big market and build a website, or buy a web template, or buy a ready to go a website and make money, because that's really where the real mistake that a beginner makes. They're not focused, they don't understand the meaning of competition, and they think that all you need is a website. No, all you really need is to identify a market with a great a great competitive framework where it's not that competitive, and you have the ability to add value. So these are the two very important criteria if you want to succeed online, regardless of whatever keyword you choose. So I'm going to dive into, let's look down a little bit to see the kind of keywords that we have here. And you see that learn to play piano is similar to piano lessons, and there's about 60,000. So you can tell right off the cuff that this is a very product-rich market. Yeah, because I mean, obviously for piano, you can't get a free piano online. You have to buy a physical piano, and that's one opportunity. And there's a lot of scope for what we call piano lessons, piano tutorials, as we have seen right now. You see piano books as well, different types of pianos. Buy piano. Well, this is a great keyword, isn't it? Buy piano. That's pretty interesting. And you see piano orchestra, piano scores, piano music, so on and so forth. The point for you to note right now is that there are tons of key phrases that even a beginner with a clear focus could target. And the way to do it is to actually identify a market you want to go into and dig one level down. Now remember, we originally typed piano as a key phrase, and what you need to do is to go one level down. So what it means that piano lessons may be a good market to go into, but at the top level, 246,000 is going to be way too much of a market. You're going to find heavy competition and you're not going to succeed. The only way you can survive here is to go one level down. Now I'm just going to drill down piano lessons one more time to go deeper and find if at this level I'm able to find a very comfortable market that I can choose to succeed. So you can see right now that the total volume is being broken down, and there are search volume for free piano lesson, which may not be the angle you want to go into right now as an affiliate marketer. And you're going to see that there are people looking for beginner piano lessons, jazz piano lessons, piano lesson books, gospel piano lessons, online piano lessons, kids piano lessons. So you can see what we call a sub-segment of the piano lesson market broken down into little chunks. And that is precisely the kind of marketing we want to do as marketers, whether we are beginners or intermediate guys. I mean, someone who is looking for blues piano lesson, yeah, ain't going to be interested in your ABC basic piano. I mean, they're looking for something very specific. And therefore, if you want to target this market, you had better have some resources targeted at the blues piano lesson market. Then there is the gospel piano, as you can see here. Or how about this, piano lessons DVD? So this market is obviously looking for physical piano lesson product, and they're possibly open to buying physical products to be shipped to their house, because they're telling you that they're looking for piano lessons DVD. And you see a group here, piano lesson software, and obviously what they mean is that they're probably looking for some interactive software to be learning the piano, and there are possibly quite a few of this type of products available in the marketplace, as we will try to explore later. So the point to note is that you will stand a better chance at going after any of these markets right here, where the market demand is between 500 to 1,000 to 1,500, 2,000 per month. And the reason for that is because, as you can see right now, the green bars are not completely green, and that means on a pay-per-click site there is less competition. And if you're going to this market via paid search, that's a great opportunity. Or if you want to go in via SEO or search engine optimization, you will definitely find less competition. So Now again, as I said, I have 5 steps to cover. I'm not going to go into that detail, but the point to note is that this is how you should be doing your marketing every single day, every single time. Keyword-based research, identifying what they want, and going out there to hunt for products and being very specific at the search terms that you're looking at here. In other words, it is far better for you, for example, to have a website that you research all the available piano lesson software, do some review, and create a website focused solely on piano lesson software as your primary key phrase, rather than having piano lessons as a generic key phrase. I would rather you have one website on piano lesson software, another one on gospel piano lesson, another one on blues piano. I mean, these are different techniques. I'm a piano player, so I'll tell you for a fact, if I'm looking for blues piano and you offer me basic piano, classical piano, early childhood piano, I will not be interested. In fact, I'll click away from your website. But if I landed on a website that has a whole series of blues piano resources, you may see me opting into your mailing list, because that's really where my focus in. So as a marketer, you need to understand that you want to be very, very laser precise in offering people exactly what you want. And in the area of what we call search engine optimization, you will do far better if you broke up these markets and create individual websites to target specific markets. And that means different domains. That's fine. Yeah. So the average marketer out there does it by having a one-size-fit-all website and having welcome to my piano lessons website, and here's everything you need for everything that you ever need. And you have a page for blues piano, a page for jazz piano. You're trying to basically conquer the entire market. But unfortunately, this generic approach does not work very well in the search engines, certainly not for Google, because Google approaches relevancy on a thematic basis. What that means is that Google would rather rank you well for a blues piano lesson website than if you had blues piano lessons resources on a single page of a music lesson website. Okay, so compared to one single page, I would rank in Google much better because I have an entire website devoted around blues piano. So that is the secret to, number one, capturing free organic traffic from the search engines, the ability to what we call micro niche, microniche. So this is a very, very important lesson that you need to understand in market research, that when you're looking for a market and looking at what they're looking for, this step that I walk you through is very, very crucial. Now, obviously, because this is a recording, you can review one more time. And I've been doing this for such a long time, so maybe what I'm saying sounds very simple, but you need to rewind and review this video over and over again and internalize exactly what I'm trying to tell you, because I've just walked through with you the exact steps to finding a micro niche market and building your expertise around those selected niche markets. Before I move on to module 2, can I just see your raise of hands if you can still understand what I'm saying so far and you're learning something? Can you please raise your hand right now? Okay, good. Very good. Thank you for some of your kind comments and your attention. Let me just move on right now and talk about the next step to the 5-step model, which is to create a website. Now, obviously, I would love to go through all 5-step models in detail. Unfortunately, for me to do that would be to spend 3 whole days with you, just like what we do in the boot camp, and which means I can't go to the toilet, I can't eat that kind of shit, and you can't do this. You can do whatever you want, of course, yeah, but I can't do a lot of things. So it's really meant for you to understand the framework and realign your mindset in terms of what internet marketing is all about. And my point to you is that you will find a lot of conflicting comments from a lot of other people, a lot of the other gurus out there who want to make internet marketing appear simpler than it is. Well, it's not actually very difficult, but the point is that if your foundation is weak and you don't really know what you're going after, then you really have a problem because you just don't know how to get started. And my point is that even if you understood what I said in the earlier step, you are way ahead of 95% of marketers in the world, because many of them are just chasing after ideas and the next and greatest money-making scheme or plot. Now remember, for all of you here, we also have a resource which is a social media site, wiabook.com. If you can take it down, www.wiabook.com, WIA book, and it's a free social media resource that we have a lot of good videos such as this, and you can always invite your friends to learn internet marketing for free. So it's not as if you're left alone. The next step I want to talk about very quickly is the website creations phase, and let me say that this phase can be totally outsourced. So I don't understand why so many marketers make a big deal out of website creation, and they worry about the strangest things in life. I mean, you choose to worry about technicalities when you don't even have a basic model create. I mean, you don't even understand the basic model, and you're just worrying about putting up websites and FTPing and payment links and so on and so forth. So again, a big mistake for many marketers is that they choose to focus on the wrong things. So you have to learn to do the right things and not necessarily doing things right. There's a big difference between both statements. This is a step which I, honest to goodness, will tell you can almost neglect totally, and you can still make money online. Because there are many people out there in the world who will be more than happy to design a web template for you, who will be more than happy to figure out all the technicalities. But remember that this is step 2, not step 1. So if you don't have your step 1, if you haven't identified your market carefully, then what's the purpose of even proceeding? I don't see why you even need a website. What do you need a website for? What's your plan? So step 2, create website. Just very quickly, I'm just going to cover that. As I've already mentioned to you, that there are more than ample experts out there who will help you do whatever you want to do for pennies on the dollar. And we outsource a lot of the activities because we cannot be experts in everything. And the least value that I place in internet marketing is the website design skills. All these things can be outsourced. You don't have to sweat it. If you really want to learn stuff like this, you can learn stuff through video lessons. We have a resource called worldinternetacademy.com. So it's $20 a month. You can just pay your membership fee, and we have videos to teach you all this kind of stuff. Of course, live training is the best, and we conduct live training in Singapore, Malaysia, and Indonesia. So I mean, my point is that there are so many ways to learn stuff, okay? But don't let this be your biggest pest. When it comes to website, we marketers typically use cookie cutter designs. We use templates because the search engines are not going to give you more points just because you have a better looking website. In fact, there are many good looking websites that a lot of companies spend thousands of dollars creating that have little to no traffic. The traffic stats is like the Sahara Desert. Yeah, no one knows where it is, and no one wants to go there anyway. So you need to have a higher level of respect and appreciation for internet marketing skills and techniques. And templates work for any niche, for any market, as you can see in these 2 examples, that you can use it for any purpose, and this should not be your main concern. If you're looking for a way to collect money online, let's say if you have a flower shop, PayPal works best. You can go to paypal-merchant.com, paypal-merchant.com, get a free PayPal account and start collecting money. Okay, so nothing to sweat about. But in many cases, as in your journey as a marketer, you will not be collecting money. Okay, let me say it again. You will not be collecting money because probably one of your greatest, easiest methods to make money is to sell other people's products as affiliate. I'm going to be covering that later on. So you will not require a payment link, for the first 12 months of your business, because you're just promoting an Amazon product or ClickBank product. So you don't have to worry about payment link. Now, we use a simple software to upload our web pages onto the internet, and guys, this is a free software, FileZilla. As you can see on the screen right now, is you just go to Google and Google FileZilla, and you can download a free FTP software where you enter your address, which is the website address, username, password, click on Quick Connect, then you're connected, and you're going to move your files from the left to the right, from your local hard disk to the internet. I mean, again, don't sweat these things. Yeah, the best way to learn this is either through live training or through video tutorials. Now, there has to be some skill that you need to have, isn't it, in internet marketing? And my emphasis for you would be to understand step 1. Now, what we did was to cover what we call market research, and the point I'm trying to impress upon all of you is that you can, with proper internet marketing skills and training, you can sit at home every single day, think of new markets you want to go into the way I did show you just now, buy a domain, create a website, learn some basic SEO to optimize your website. Because if you have content online and you don't understand SEO, boy oh boy, are you wasting a lot of effort. I know a lot of bloggers who try to blog for a living and create content after content after content, but they just don't understand basic search engine marketing, and that is very, very sad. Because those of you bloggers out there, blogging is creating content online, and creating content online is SEO, and therefore blogging is a subset of search engine optimization. You're literally wasting your efforts if you're blogging without regard to search engine optimization. You're not maximizing the traffic to your blogs that you would otherwise be able to have if you understood basic search engine optimization. Now, again, bearing in mind that this is a webinar for beginners, I'll stick to my beginner core theme. And let's look at this slide right now. You'll see that there is the red area and there's a blue area, and the blue area is directed towards sponsored advertising, Google AdWords as we call, or commonly known as PPC marketing, pay per click marketing. As the name implies, you pay when someone clicks on your ad, which is a perfect model, because what it means is that if your ad shows 100 times and no one clicks, you don't pay a single cent. Now contrast this to the good old days of banner advertising, where you pay for what we call the CPM approach, or cost per 1,000 impressions. In other words, you're paying for 1,000 bling bling bling. Whether anyone clicks on the banner or not, you're paying a flat fee. So the pay per click model is a great departure away from the olden days of banner advertising, and it is an introduction to what we call performance marketing. And performance marketing means that if you're paying per click, you are hopefully trying to achieve a target ROI, and with the ROI you can now determine how much profit or loss your internet marketing activities or campaign is achieving. So with the beauty of the online approach is simply that everything is possible to calculate, and nothing goes by without you not being able to calculate results. Basic mathematics, whether you add, subtract, times, or multiply or divide, that's all the basic skills we need in internet marketing. So that's the beauty of online marketing. It is purely scientific. Everything can be measured, everything can be tracked. So paid search has its huge role to play in internet marketing, and the reason being that it is the single most effective method of driving targeted visitors to your website. It's the single most powerful method. Now, why do I say that, and how do I qualify this? Very simply, what differs pay-per-click advertising compared to all the other methods of advertising is the fact that for pay-per-click, you, the advertiser, specify the keywords that people will find you, which means you doing your market research, as in step 1, will specifically identify the market who would be interested in your product or services. It's down to the keyword level. So no one's going to see your ad if you did not add those keywords in your paid search keyword list. This presents a very interesting aspect of pay-per-click marketing in a sense that it's only when your target audience has typed in the key phrases, the very key phrases that you have identified in your keyword list, that your ad appears. Now, when that happens, what's the probability of them clicking on your ad? If you have identified, if you created a good ad, very high. And that is exactly what we want in advertising, isn't it? Now contrast this to the newspaper, where you put a nice big ad for $3,000 and 1 million people read the newspaper. But guess what? Not all 1 million people is going to flip to the page that your ad is showing, and not all 1 million people is going to be interested in the topic that you're advertising. Now, when you take all these factors in, you are lucky if you get 50 responses in newspaper advertising. I don't care how large your ad size is. Yeah, I mean, of course, unless you have a full page ad, which is going to cost you $24,000. A typical 1/8 type of ad, you are lucky if you get 50 phone calls. Now, trust me, we do newspaper advertising, and I'll tell you, we are lucky if we get 50 phone calls in response to our ad. And if we had just spent $3,000 on an ad at 50 phone calls, you do the maths. It costs us a whopping $60 per phone call. Now, that's a phone call. It does not mean that the people who are calling are going to respond the next step. Yeah, but you're paying $60 per telephone call. Compare and contrast this to online marketing, where you're doing the exact same thing, but I don't think you have to pay even a fraction of $60 to attract the lead, regardless of what product and services you're going on. And think about it. Within the local economies of every country, you have catering services, you have tuition, you have music lessons, and the list goes on, babysitting, so on and so forth. And all these people are searching on the internet for products, for services or products. Where are you? Why are you still twiddling your thumbs at home, thinking that there's nothing you can do out there? There are many things that you can do out there. If you're twiddling your thumbs, it really just means that your foundation in internet marketing is just weak. You're unable to fully comprehend the 5-step model to make it into a workable online business model. And if it's training you need, it's training you need. Now, be very clear about what your confusion lies. If you've come for training, any of my trainings, for example, and you're still unable to execute, it means you probably need more remedial support. And we have many ways of getting you that support. WI Book being one of them. It's a free resource. You don't have to have come to my training to use WI Book. But again, that if you never had a frame of reference in internet marketing, then the chances of you succeeding is going to be very slim, because your foundation is just so weak. You're following ebook after ebook. Okay, enough of ranting. Organic search results. And let me just tell you this. Organic search results are becoming more and more important. More and more companies are beginning to realize, hey, you know what? The paid search is becoming so expensive that why don't we just keep our house clean first? Do some housekeeping, and that means, again, web pages have content on the website, and therefore you should be performing basic SEO or search engine optimization. And many companies are not doing it, many bloggers are not doing it, and therefore they don't get the maximum traffic that they deserve. So you could ask me right now what I consider as the two most important traffic generation skills on planet Earth. I'll tell you it's going to be pay-per-click marketing and search engine optimization. And there's no argument about it. In case people want to start disputing, there are other methods to drive traffic. Yes, there are. There's social media today can have a huge impact into your campaigns. But just remember that you cannot beat the ROI of search. And the reason is because factually, 85% of all visitors to a new website get there through search. So yes, social media has a much greater influence today, but remember, it's social media traffic. You know, less than 1%, I think, of social media traffic, people who, even if they come to your website, have any intention of buying stuff or making a transaction. I mean, they are at a social media site, they're watching a YouTube video, they're in Facebook, and they don't have a credit card next to them. That's not their intention. So if they happen to just click on your ad and land on your page, what do you expect them to do? You expect them to make a decision, buy a Samsung LCD TV? It doesn't work that way. But on search, it's a different story, because on search, they are searching for specific products and services. They may be searching for a specific Samsung LCD TV, and if you happen to be promoting that TV on Amazon, guess what? You get clicked on, and the purchase referral goes to you. That's a power search. On this slide, I'm just here to tell you that what you see here is a result of a scientific study known as the eye tracking study, and you can see very clearly that it's not just enough to get your web page on the organic or paid search. You want to be within the what we call the upper fold of a web page, which means your URL or your website is visible without the visitor having to scroll down to look for your ad. So if you're below the fold, meaning if they have to scroll down to see your ad, even being on page 1 is not going to be helpful, because it is the top web pages within the search engine that get the majority of traffic, as seen by the eye track studies here. Let's move on. And traffic generation will be a topic that all of you will continue to learn to be better and better, because to understand it in a more powerful manner, it simply means you're able to turn your time and money into traffic, and traffic is the lifeblood of all web businesses. You cannot have enough expertise and knowledge in traffic. Let's move on to step 4. Step 4 says that once the traffic lands on your website, well, this is not the end all of everything. It is still your job as a marketer to ensure that you have the proper elements on your website to ensure that the website visitor is persuaded to take an action, which is to make a purchase or to give you lead information. You know, guess what? A lot of companies today, a lot of individuals drive traffic to the website but don't get the conversion results they expect. Why is this so? I'll tell you why. Simply because the website is not ready, it's not at a state to persuade anyone to take an action. One of the common mistakes that marketers make on a multi-page website is to drive visitors to their homepage. Oh my God, oh my goodness. Why do you do that? I mean, why do you land someone on your homepage? What is so good about your homepage? Your homepage is the worst place to land your visitor on. Yet, 95% of PPC marketers make this horrendous mistake. Why? I guess because they had no time to attend a webinar like this. The reason why you need to understand, back from module 1 example, if someone is looking for blues piano lessons and they click on an ad, your ad should say something about blues piano lessons, and when they land on your website, hopefully they're seeing something about what? Blues piano lessons. I mean, the continuity and the consistency of the theme must be there throughout the entire marketing process. Now, obviously, if someone is looking for free blues piano lesson and your website is selling something, you're not going to convert well as well, even though you're selling blues piano lessons. If you want to target a visitor who searches for free blues piano lessons, you really need to ensure that you have something free to offer. It could be free 2 piano lessons out of the entire package. It could be autorespondent messages. It could be YouTube videos to at least satisfy their information needs first before you upsell them the paid blues piano lesson. So there has to be consistency and continuity. One of the elements that we focus a lot as marketers is what we call scarcity and time urgency. This is not overused, and I'll tell you this always works. When you have something new and you want great conversions, you must be able to have a situation where people understand that if they take the time to decide, they may not be able to get the same offer if they come back again. I mean, think about it. If there's no such scarcity, no time urgency, why the heck do they need to purchase from you today? So again, very important that as marketers, we have to induce an environment where the person coming in understands very clearly that, hey, you're fortunate to be clicking on my ad, and here is a product. I'm going to give you a discount, but if you take action within the next X amount of minutes and you come back tomorrow, I can't guarantee you that the offer is going to be here. So there is a fear. We call this fear of loss. Yeah, and fear of loss is a great motivator to effective marketing and conversion. Now, there are obviously many elements within the conversion process, and conversion is something that is an advanced topic for most marketers. And once we are able to attract the quality of traffic we want, we focus a lot on increasing conversion. Because think about it mathematically. If I can drive 100 visitors and out of 100 visitors, 3 people take action, my conversion rate is what? 3%. And now I make X amount of dollars profit. But what if I could double my conversion from 3 to 6%? Now my profit doubles for the same amount of traffic. Do you see how important conversion is? Take the next example, where now I have 6% conversion and 200 visitors. You know that the effect of doubling your traffic and doubling your conversion is that your income quadruples. Do the maths. The first scenario, 100 people, 3 purchases, X profit. Now I double my traffic to 200 and my profit doubles. That's 2x. But now my conversion doubles as well. So it's 2x times 2, and that's 4x. And it means in your first scenario, with 100 visitors and normal conversion versus second scenario, double the traffic, double the conversion, you're making 4 times the amount of profits. Put it in plain English. If your website today is making $500 and you can work your way towards increasing conversion and doubling your traffic, you could potentially be making $2,000 for the same website. Very, very powerful. Finally, on step 5, automation and tracking. And let me say that, I know a lot of website owners who make a decent living online, a couple of $1,000 a month, but they are unable to take long holidays. They are unable to scale their income, and the reason is simply because they cannot get away from their computer. So the point for you to note is that you have to do whatever it takes to free your time, because rightfully the online business environment gives you an almost perfect business model, where once you identify your market in module 1, you create your website, you start driving traffic through paid search or through organic SEO. The traffic part of the equation, it is automated already. It's on autopilot. You've already set it up. They come to your website and they purchase a product. If it's digital, for example, you need to understand that you need to add as many automation elements, and obviously one of the basic elements is the payment processing. PayPal. you're going to use PayPal, and PayPal allows you to redirect the visitor to a thank you page. Now, why do you want to do that? Well, you just bought a product, and you don't want to be sending them an email every single time. You just want to offer them the download of the product, and this completes the full cycle of attracting the visitor to your website and the visitor taking action and receiving the product. So certainly in this business, unlike any other business, it can be a purely one-man show and it could be making a 5-figure income, but you have to get your automation in it. So I'm showing you now a slightly more advanced automation flow, and this is where you take care not only of the customer, but you also take care of the prospect. What I mean by the prospect is someone who says maybe and rather than yes. And of course, there's always the third component that says no. Well, if people leave, they leave. There's nothing you can do about it. But for those who are maybe, who are undecided, there's a lot you can do through the use of what we call autoresponders to persuade them, to further educate them, to give them further training, to give them further evidence and to further persuade them why they should buy your product or even an affiliate product. And the autoresponder system today is a commodity system. I mean, for like $15 a month, you can have the autoresponder system and you can set it up on unlimited websites. Why are you not using it? I mean, why are you not building up your mailing list? Because your mailing list is gold. I mean, look at all the gurus of the world. In fact, their greatest asset is their mailing list, and they will not be hesitant to tell you that fact. Their greatest asset is the mailing list. So many of you have been marketing for ages, but you don't have a mailing list. Why not? I don't understand why you're not building your mailing list. Now remember, the autoresponder system works whereby you are preparing messages that is sent out on a time release basis. Day 1, day 2, day 3, day 7, day 20, day 25. You could preload an autoresponder sequence for one whole year in advance. You could preload 52 messages once a week, and it's triggered automatically every time someone signs up on your web page. So that is, I mean, if you are not persuaded by this form of automated salesperson, I'm not sure what else you want to achieve out of internet marketing. So needless to say that a lot of marketers out there are weak in the sense that they don't fully exploit the power of the autoresponder system, because your autoresponder system is your tireless 24/7 salesman who never complains, who never sleeps, who never eats, and smiles at you, sends out emails very, very regularly and very, very predictably. And you need to learn how to continue to use the autoresponder system, build a mailing list, and get the autoresponder system to help you generate regular monthly profits. In summary, for those of you who are completely new to internet marketing, unlike what you think, this is not a random business. There's actually a method to the entire madness. And you need to understand that regardless of whatever you sell, whatever you're promoting online, it all boils down to 5 steps. Step 1 is to do your market research. Now, when we say market research, we mean you're researching markets, as we did earlier in the piano example, and we learned that the piano lesson niche can be subdivided into micro niches like blues piano, jazz piano, beginner piano, adult piano, kids piano. And your job as a marketer is to go after that micro niche. Why? Because there's less competition. Yeah. Once you identify the market, it's fairly easy to look for what we call affiliate products that you can promote. Now, we're not online for charity purposes. We're online to make money. And a totally respectable way of doing that is to give people what they're looking for by adding value. And we'll cover that down this webinar itself, not to worry. Okay, in terms of how to find products and so forth. But market research, totally important. And then the next step is to, of course, create the entire website. As I already mentioned to you, this part can be totally outsourced. Or you can learn some basic skills. It's not going to be a do or die. This is going to be like a half day, 3/4 day skill set. So number 1, I mean, don't avoid this. If you have to do it, if you learn it, go learn it. It's not going to kill you. Traffic generation. Now, of course, traffic generation is always important because that's the lifeblood of a web business. And again, many marketers just don't understand how to go deep in your traffic methods and learn as much as you can, because the more effective you are, the more money you're going to make. And again, I don't understand why some people choose to stop learning in this business, because the adage that the more you learn, the more you earn is really, really true. I mean, at my phase in internet marketing, I'm still learning because I want to get ahead of my competitors. I want to go into big markets. And quite frankly, now no one can stop me. So why should I stop learning? The more I learn, the more I earn. And the same goes for you as well. Conversion, website conversion, utterly critical. This is really true when we work with larger clients in our consulting business. They already have the traffic. They already have a good brand. People are already coming to the website, but they're just not taking the action they're supposed to take. On a smaller scale, as a small business owner, if you have 100 visitors and only 1 is taking action out of 100, there's a lot of things you can do to multiply your profits, because on average your conversion should at least be between 3 to 5%. For every 100 visitors, 3 to 5% at least should be taking action. Now, if you have a lead generation business where people are just filling up a lead form, your conversion should be 10% to 15%. If you're not making those numbers, there's a lot more that you need to do on your page to increase conversion. So let me say this again. Product sales between 3 to 5%. For lead conversion between 10 to 15%. These are industry averages. If you're falling below these numbers, hey buddy, there's a lot more work you need to do. And of course, website automation and tracking. Yes, notice that the green bar itself starts from website creation onwards, implying that you can actually automate step 2, 3, 4. The only thing you can't automate is the market research. That requires your brains. If you're wondering, it's the gray matter between your ears. And this will always be your secret knowledge, your ability to identify hidden markets and hidden profits is your gold mine. I'm going to stop right now and do a simple poll. That's to understand the audience a little bit better. And what we have is some questions which I hope you can help me answer. I'm going to do a simple poll right now. And the poll question is, how would you rate your current internet marketing knowledge? That's so I can understand the composition of the webinar participants right now. Let's help me by making voting. Now, ideally, every one of you should be participating in the poll. Okay, because if you don't participate, we know who you are, by the way. Okay, so please help us help you by giving us your poll. 80% have voted. I'll just leave it for another 30 seconds. How would you rate your current internet marketing knowledge? Another 15 seconds. 82% voted. If you are that 18%, now's the chance to vote. 84%, 85%. Okay, I think that is good enough. I'm going to close the poll results right now. 87%, okay. Last minute decision makers. Maybe you had to consult your wife, yeah? No problem. Thank you for participating, and here's the results that you will see. So this is a current composition where 60% of you are total beginners, 31% intermediate, and 8% advanced. No experts here. So humble, huh? All of you. Not a problem. Okay, I'm going to launch the next poll, and the question I have for you is as such: how much are you willing to invest in your internet marketing education? Rather, how much do you currently invest in your internet marketing education? This is in US dollars. %51 have voted. %85, 87. %89. Very good. Now this poll asks you in terms of total internet marketing education expenditure, yeah? I'm going to leave it open for another 15 seconds before I close the poll and show you the results. And you will see some interesting stats that I'm seeing right now. 89%. Okay, so we have most of you having polled. 91%. One last person sneaked in. Okay, I'm going to give you exactly 10 more seconds before I close the poll. And we're done. And here are the results. So as you can see, it is not surprising that many of you may not be progressing in your internet marketing journey simply because you're just not investing in your internet marketing education. I mean, there's no two way about it, isn't it? That 68% of the 91% of you polled invest less than $100 a month. I'm not sure what $100 buys you, by the way. Okay, and that's one of the reasons why people just don't excel in this area, because you're just not investing enough of information or knowledge. Now, trust me, I'm not selling you anything in this webinar. That's not my intention. I'm just here to show you that if you are serious about your business, and this is a business, you want to go all out, learn from people whom you can relate to, attend as much training as possible, get yourself up to speed so that you don't have to waste so much time and effort trying to figure this out on your own. I mean, a lot of people try to do that, and at $100 a month, quite honestly, I'm not sure what you will achieve in terms of effective knowledge and strategies. My own internet marketing journey took me about 3 years to figure out the stuff, and by then I've already invested over 150,000 US dollars. I'm not saying that was the best approach. It is not, of course, yeah. But certainly, if I had invested $100 a month, I don't think I would be anywhere near where I am right now. So that's a food for thought for you to understand that you are, as they say, you are what you eat, and you're only as good online as your internet marketing knowledge. Now think about this, because if your foundation is weak in internet marketing because you just refuse to treat this business seriously, your results are going to be weak. For every hour you spend on internet marketing where you do not have superior knowledge, you do not have effective knowledge, your output or your throughput is going to be far, far lower than someone who understands the landscape well. This is called effectiveness. Yeah. So effectiveness is derived through knowledge and acquisition of knowledge. So something for you to reflect. If you're not getting anywhere on internet marketing, you have to start looking at yourself and asking yourself, do I deserve to be anywhere in internet marketing? Because I don't know, maybe I'm just not investing the resources. I'm not treating this seriously. This is like, a hobby, a discovery to me. And if that is your goal, nothing wrong with it. Okay, but then you shouldn't be disappointed with yourself. You shouldn't be complaining, because you get what you put in. Now, on the flip side, see that 6% of you invest less than $2,000 a month, and that is quite a substantial amount. 20% less than $1,000 a month, which I think is quite decent. And my hats off to you, because 25%, 26% of you recognize the importance of education, and you will go far. Now, I'm not trying to be nasty to the 68% of you. I mean, there may be many reasons why that number is less than $100 a month, and one of it could be financial constraints. But think about it, isn't it a chicken and egg thing? You want to get rich, but you don't have the knowledge to get rich. So my point to all of you, at $100 a month, okay, there are still many resources out there that can help you achieve your success. One of it, of course, is going to be our World Internet Academy social media. That's going to go there right now for the purpose of this recording, and it's going to be www.wiabook.com. So this is a totally free resource that you can use to learn for free, and that means 100% of you qualify to come to our social media and what we call WIA book. I'm just going to close the poll right now so that you can just take a look at what our social media website looks like. Okay, so this is a free resource. So 100% of you qualify, and of course I know many of you are already members of this free resource. And our goal here is not to spam you with affiliate links. And by the way, we are very strict about people who misuse this resource, misuse a friendship around by spamming everyone else with affiliate links. We will not hesitate to delete profiles. We have done that. We'll continue to do that for the benefit of the members. But this is a completely free resource, and there's no reason why you shouldn't be a member of WIA book. Now, of course, the other resource I will talk to you about that 100% of you qualify based on your budget is worldinternetacademy.com. I mean, this is a $20 US a month resource. So we're not talking about $1,000 a month resource. We're talking about $20 US a month. And if you're not willing to invest $20 a month to learn, I'm not sure what else there is online to help you succeed. Okay, so there's a little pop-up. Let me just proceed right now with the rest of the presentation. I just want to share with you very quickly some models that you can use to make money online. See, how it works is that once you understand the 5-step system, the next step is to actually put your knowledge into a workable profit model, as I call it. And there are 4 of them here, which I'm going to be sharing with you. One is content publishing, followed by affiliate marketing, resale rights marketing, and product creation. I'm going to just take it in step. So the first model is content publishing. And this model works very well for people with more time than money. For those of you who are looking for stable long-term income, this is certainly the type of model you want to focus on. And the reason for this is because for content publishing, you will want to be using a critical and free traffic generation skill, and that is using SEO or social media marketing, article marketing, so on and so forth. I mean, with free traffic, your ROI is just going to blow through the roof, because content publishing works when you identify a untapped niche market, you create a website, drive traffic using SEO, nothing but SEO. Now, of course, you can also use paid search, but I'm saying that this model works best with organic traffic, and you get paid when someone lands on your website, clicks on an ad, buys a product, so on and so forth. Now, here's an example of a site which I built a long time ago on a topic called mesothelioma. Those days that this was a very hot topic, primarily because of the advertisers, which were very largely legal firms and medical institutions, and they were paying a high price to have their ads on the AdSense network. But today we have evolved far beyond that. Here's another example where you can make a living by representing offline businesses, driving traffic to your website. In this case, one of our students in Indonesia, his name is Freddy, and he does a good job in search engine optimization, and his URL, his website, Best Manado Guide, is on page 1 in Google. Go and Google it, and you'll see that his website is actually in the top 10 results for a single phrase, Manado, and that speaks a lot of his dedication and desire to learn internet marketing. In fact, when I was in Indonesia recently, he gave a testimonial to a large crowd and said that he comes for all my training. He has come for generally all my training, all my live training, the boot camp, the advanced leadership training, and the advanced SEO. And he says that, well, he has made enough money online to pay for the training. And his message to the audience was that, well, the training paid off on its own. Now, that's of course true if you take action the way Freddy does. So there are many different kind of models that you can apply for content publishing, because your goal is to have a website that acts like a traffic magnet. And Does it mean that you only need organic traffic? No, it doesn't mean that. You could even buy traffic through low-cost traffic through the content network or placement targeting network. And I've recently created a webinar video, which is on WIA Book, that talks about innovative ways to drive low-cost traffic using Google's content and placement targeting network. You can review the video on WIA Book to know more. So my point to you is that there's so many things out there that allows you to drive targeted traffic, because whether you buy the traffic or get the traffic for free, guess what? You now have a captive audience ranging from 50, 100 visitors a day to 1,000 people a day, and that is enough of what we call a critical mass to start leasing out critical sections of your web page for advertising. And even if someone else pays you $50 a month to place an ad on your website that attracts 1,000 visitors a day, 10 of such ads works out to $500. I mean, hey, who said making money was difficult? Yeah, so you have to be innovative, like the way Freddie is doing. So he has paid ads who are hotels and resorts, adventure tours, so on and so forth. You just really have to learn how to be innovative in the marketing approach. Online profit model 2 is that of affiliate marketing, and very popular model. The reason why it's so popular is because you can make a living online without having to sell your own product. Now, a lot of times people tell me that they have product ideas, beginners especially, and my response to them is simply, hey, you know what, before you create your own product, why don't you start promoting other people's product? Okay, so if let's say you wanted to create a DVD on ballroom dancing, and rather than you go out there and hire a video crew, spend $10,000 on the recording, putting up a website together, so on and so forth, why don't you figure out first whether you are able to sell even a single ballroom DVD of your competitor or from Amazon? I mean, if you can't even do that, if you can't even sell an already existing ballroom DVD through your marketing channels and techniques, what makes you think that just because you have your own product, suddenly sales will explode? It does not make sense. Marketing is marketing is marketing. So my point to all of you here who desire to have your own product, well, you have to learn the marketing process first. Apply the 5-step system, generate results. Now, of course, if you're making a lot of money selling somebody else's ballroom DVD, you know the technique, you have a mailing list, would it make sense for you to have your own ballroom DVD? Absolutely. Well, I mean, absolutely. So, when you promote other people's products as affiliates, you get a commission, which is not the full sale price, of course, but it allows you to, what we call, put your leg into the water to find out how deep it is, how profitable it is, before you make a decision to plunge a lot of time, money, and resources creating your own product. Okay, so just bear this in mind, because it is perfectly okay to make money selling other people's product. Nothing wrong at all. Now, if you're going to be doing affiliate marketing, there are some fairly important skill sets that you will need to have. One of it is going to be learning how to make effective use of the pay-per-click channel, because I already told you earlier that the pay-per-click channel is a very powerful channel, and the idea is that if you're spending $500 a month in this channel, you should be getting at least a 20% return on investment. So if you couldn't spend $500 a month on marketing, it should give you back at least $100 in pure profit. Now, this is a minimum, and depending on your marketing skill, you could even generate 100% ROI. And this means that if you spend $500 in pay-per-click, it's possible to make $500 in net profit. So think about it. If you're not achieving those kind of goals, at least 20%, it probably means that your marketing process is broken down somehow. Many reasons for that. One could be your ineffective keyword research, or if you are brilliant in keyword research, it could really mean that the product that you chose to promote is not as desirable as you think. Now, affiliate marketing is a very broad scope, so there are many ways to make money online. And one of the more popular ways is to what we call write a product review, because many people go out there online, as you can imagine, looking for reviews of popular products. So they're trying to go out there and find an independent review site so that they can have an informed, unbiased view of the quality or the performance of the product before they go out investing the money. And what better way to drive traffic to your website by writing a review on your own? So you could jolly well identify a niche, any niche, pick a number of different products and write a review of those products, and let's create a review focus site. I know of people who are making a lot of money doing that in any niche, any category. Okay, every niche has its own set of products that people want to read reviews on, and because you are writing content on your website, writing a review site, creating a review site will depend on your basic search engine optimization skills. Now, if you are going to be using paid search to drive traffic to your website, I highly recommend that you land your visitors on a very specific, what we call landing page. And let me give you an overview of a landing page. A landing page should not have unnecessary navigation links. Okay, a landing page for paid search should be simple, with a clear call to action, and without unnecessary clutter. And again, and this is why a lot of marketers or website owners make the mistake of using their home page as a landing page. Now that's a big no-no, simply because your home page is not designed to funnel the visitor into taking action, whereas the landing page right in front of you right now, as you can see on the screen, has no navigation. Well, the only two clickable links will lead the visitor to the sales page, and when you click on either of these two links, well, we load the cookie onto their the computer, and when you buy, we get the credit. So the whole concept is that you don't want to have a landing page and use your main website as a landing page. You want to have a very targeted landing page, as you can see right now. Very simple, very effective. They click, they buy, and you make money. So a landing page for pay-per-click, paid search should not have unnecessary navigation. Do not use your regular website as a landing page, because it's not going to give you maximum ROI. Now, another example of affiliate marketing is to use a technique that we call direct linking, and this is called linking directly to the merchant, as in this example, Amazon.com. Many of you do not know, especially beginners, do not know that Amazon pays you between 4 to 15% for every single product, any single product that you sell or you help them sell. So every product line in Amazon is commissionable, and what that means is now that you can buy a PPC ad, structure it well, and drive the traffic directly to Amazon without the need for a landing page. Now, a lot of people don't understand why this works, and I'll explain to you very quickly. Amazon has a cookie system. Now, the cookie obviously is used to track the visitor and to know who referred the visitor. So the difference between the Amazon cookie and the normal ClickBank cookie, for example, is that the Amazon cookie is a 24-hour exclusive cookie. That means that the visitor clicks on the first Amazon link, the referrer of that first link gets the reward. Now, if the visitor clicks on the second link, then the first referrer still gets the reward. It's a 24 hours expiring cookie, which works very differently from a lot of other affiliate programs like ClickBank, for example, because ClickBank is a last party cookie, and what that means is that the last marketer who has their link clicked will get the reward. So this is very different from Amazon.com. What this means, and the implication here, is that if you want to promote Amazon, you have to be the first link clicked. But if you're promoting ClickBank, you do not need to be the first link clicked. In English, what it means is that when you're using paid search to promote a ClickBank product, you don't necessarily need to be the top PPC ad, and therefore you don't need to pay a premium price to be on top, because most people, when they're searching for products in the digital marketplace like ClickBank, for example, or even through the search engines, rarely purchase based on the first offer. They shop around, and if you're on position 2 or 3, well, you can still generate the sale if you have an enticing offer. Here's a list of affiliate networks that you could join to locate products to sell. I mean, ClickBank is one of them, Pay.com, Amazon, of course, CJ, LinkShare Performance. There are many, many, many others. Okay, so trust me, you can never have enough products to sell. Well, let me say this again. You can never have too many products to sell. So, said it wrong. You can never not have too many products to sell. So please don't tell me that you don't know what to sell online. It's more or less that you don't have a strategy online, or you don't have the skills to market online. Model 3 is what we call resale rights marketing. And again, this is one of those hidden gold mine that when I first started internet marketing without my own products, what I really did was to purchase license to other people's products and sell it as my own and keep all the profit. So this is a very legitimate approach towards marketing, and a lot of marketers start from zero in trying to create their own product. You don't have to. You can buy a high quality resale right products that gives you the license to sell good products. And of course, hunting for them becomes one of the major challenges. But again, same thing. If you can't sell a resale rights product, what makes you think you're going to be selling, being able to sell your own product? So here, there's some examples in my early career as a marketer. I bought this software called Pop-Up Master Pro. In those days, it cost me $297 for the license, and therefore I was a reseller of the software. And when I sell the software, I keep all the profits, and I made very good money, because during those days, this was revolutionary. I mean, this product was light years ahead of its next competitor, and I made a lot of money selling this product. Another example is a physical product which I bought, and it's called the 6 Weeks Advanced Internet Study Course by Yannick Silver. During those days, he was popular. Today, he's far more popular, and his popularity helps me a lot in my marketing today, because I still sell this product. And in fact, there's a couple of weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, I just shipped the 6 weeks course to someone in Canada who purchased, and obviously he purchased this because he wanted to learn from Yannick Silver. Now, I paid a one-time license fee of $1,995 US, and I'm selling online right now for $497 US. Now, obviously, I need to do my own fulfillment, meaning that I have to do my own duplication of the package, because this is a physical product. I have to ship it out on my own as well. But guess what? I know I'm lazy. I pay someone to do all these things, the duplication, the shipping, and I pay an admin fee. But needless to say, I still make a profit out of every single sale, because I sell it for $497. My shipping costs, everything including the admin fee, I pay that person. It's going to be about 200. Well, it's about $150 US. So take $497 minus 150. I'm still in profit about $350. Not bad for a license I purchased, 4 years ago. Okay, so you have to learn how to be innovative as a marketer, and most importantly, you need to have your primary skills as a marketer if you want to make a living online. Opportunities are everywhere. You just have to learn how to turn those opportunities into profits. And the first step is to making sure that you understand the 5-step processes really, really well. Of course, the final goal for every marketer is to do market research. And as this page clearly shows you, there are inherent risks in doing that. I'm not saying that you should not do it, but I'm saying that you should weigh the risk, because there's going to be significant time, money, and resources invested in it. And I've seen too many product launch failures to tell you that a lot of marketers without the correct skill launch a poor product, and it simply explodes right in their face. And here's an example of a product that I launched in July 05, and this was a joint venture, and the programmer was from Russia, and I was the marketer, and therefore I led in the marketing activities. And this again, this shows to you that you really have to become an innovative marketer to look for opportunities. You do not need to be the expert to make money online. That's a screenshot of the amount of money we generated in a good 20 months. Now, needless to say, because it's a joint venture, the earnings are split. But hey, this is still quite a bit of money for a product you never created. Think about it. Just your marketing skills. Of course, true product creation is defined as you having a product to call your own, and therefore you keep all the profits, and there are significant advantages to that, because now you can have affiliates around the world promoting your product, and you give a healthy affiliate commission for everyone that buys your product. Nothing wrong with that. I launched Edwards Empire in September 06. This was my first and most significant product launch during that time, and I managed to generate a healthy income from it. Now, of course, within this amount, there was a lot that I paid out in affiliate commissions as well, but that's not the point. The point is that the power of having your own product launch, not only in the income perspective, but from a branding perspective. I mean, this product itself, this single product, plus the dowser, gave me, I would say, fairly strong worldwide recognition as an internet marketing expert. So the point is that branding plays a big part, and it is in product launches that you show your true strengths, or your true creativity, or your true expertise in whatever field you are in. But again, as I said, that product creation comes with its own price because of the risk it involves. And one thing you should not do is to create a Me Too product. Too often I see many marketers who know internet marketing and end up launching what we call internet marketing products, the how to get rich product. And many times this type of product launches fall flat on its face. Why? Because they create what we call a Me Too product. There's no unique value, there's no differentiation, there's no new idea. And they try to get internet marketing gurus to promote these products for them, but gurus are not going to blast their 100,000 email list for a Me Too product. They don't want to be seen to be silly. Yeah, so a lot of people just don't get it. The internet marketing niche, the how to make money online niche, it is lucrative. But if you want to play in this niche, you have to find your own voice. You have to find your own expertise and learn to differentiate your skill set. I mean, in other words, if you want to become an SEO expert, by all means, welcome. But make sure that you have some groundbreaking information to offer, and there's not some rehashed information, because it will become very clear when you sell what we call rehashed information with no appreciable value. People just start discounting you, and worst thing, your image online becomes that of a rehashed marketer. That's the last thing you want to have in internet marketing. The point I'm trying to make for all of you here is that many of you struggle in getting your online business started. Why? Well, I'll tell you, probably your first reason because your foundation of internet marketing is weak. And with a weak foundation, it's like trying to hitchhike or do some cross-country hitchhiking without a roadmap. I mean, why would you even want to start like that? You're putting yourself at a disadvantage. You're putting your morale at a huge misery, and it just doesn't make sense. I mean, you cannot treat internet marketing as an ideas business where you just read an ebook and you implement ideas and you get rich that way. I wish it was that simple, but it's not that simple. Yeah. But at the end of the spectrum, it's not also that difficult. I mean, if you have the right foundation, there's no reason why you can't succeed. Just as this slide demonstrates, there are many ways to make money. And if you're new, I suggest you focus. I'd rather you be good at one thing than be average at many things. And that's what a lot of people try to do. They try to learn too many things, and they try to apply too many things, and they end up being a generalist. You cannot add value as a generalist, and it's very difficult to become good at everything. I've tried it before. When I first started, I said I want to be good at everything. And even though, well, I think I'm good at everything, I still needed to find a very firm position to say that I can't be everything to everybody. I need to have a very, very firm specialization. And I chose search marketing. And today, with all humility, I will say that I'm one of the best search marketers out there, or expertise in Asia Pacific. And that is my space I claim, and I lay claim to it. And the fact of matter is that the success of my newly minted consulting practice and the clients that we are speaking to right now suggests that I am on the right track. You see, but just because I'm a search marketing expert doesn't mean I do not know anything about product creation. Doesn't mean I do not know anything about affiliate marketing. Doesn't mean I do not know anything about social media marketing. It is a branding that you want to be known for. Okay, so you can be good at many things, but you need to be well entrenched in a particular area that you develop deep expertise. I'm saying deep expertise. I'm not saying that's knowing something for the sake of knowing it. Many of you know a lot of things, isn't it? I say affiliate marketing, yes you know. Product creation, yes you know. But how good are you in these things? So there's a difference between knowing stuff and being deeply entrenched in the knowledge and application and having that practical experience to go in there and conquer your chosen niche. Now, how do you get started for those of you who are totally new to internet marketing? Well, I'll tell you this. Well, the first thing you need in any business online, especially, is going to be a website. You will certainly need a website to sign up for an Amazon account, for example, if you're going to start doing Amazon affiliate marketing. And therefore, the first resource I point people to would be blogger.com. Why? Because with blogger.com, you can now create your own website. And people ask me, what's the difference between a blog and a website? Well, a blog is a website. A website is a blog. And the difference is that a blog is an online publishing platform, whereas a website template, for example, has to be uploaded from your computer, and that requires you to have a domain name. It requires you to have your web hosting and your FTP software and your HTML editor. So that's a bit more complex. Blogger is free. So you just need to go to www.blogger.com, get a Blogspot account, and that counts as a website. I mean, there are a lot of people who make some money just using Blogger itself. Okay, so again, it's not what platform you use, it's how you use it. That's going to be important. Where is your first checkpoint to look for products to sell? Well, in my live training, I talk about Amazon.com, and simply because you have over 2 million products to market in Amazon. And because of this, you have a wide range of products. And remember how we started off in module 1 based on keywords. Yeah, we searched the piano niche, and just look at the subcategories over here. You see that they are clothing, accessories, computer, office, and consumer electronics, audio, video, camera, photo, cell phone, musical instruments, so on and so forth. I mean, what are these? These are keywords, isn't it? So if these are keywords, does it mean that you can go to freehours.com and learn about what the market's searching for? Absolutely. Absolutely. So a category in Amazon or a subcategory is made up of keywords. Take the keyword, go to Free AdWords tool and find out what the market is searching for. Because now you have the product. Because Amazon can deliver the product. And you can make a profit from every product that you help Amazon sell. Now you only need to find the market, and if it's going to be barbecue gas grill as it's an example product, go and research the market through keywords. Create a website, drive paid traffic, or drive organic traffic, do social media, do article marketing, but find the market of people, the target market who's looking for barbecue gas grill, and refer them to your blog, for example. Doesn't have to be fancy. A blog that has reviews of barbecue gas grills. I mean, it's a one-to-one thing. They're looking for barbecue gas grills, and you should have a website or a blog that offers some value for people searching for barbecue gas grills. I mean, of course, this is just an oversimplification, but the more advanced version is just really the level of details, the level of expertise, and the level of skill set that we apply in each of this 5-step system. So what I'm going to do right now is close to 1 hour 40 minutes, and I just want to take some of your questions and hopefully answer them while you are live, and that's one of the benefits of you being live, and that is simply the fact that you can ask questions, and I will get to review them, and hopefully I give you the questions you want. Now, just before that, I have a last poll which I'm going to launch right now, and I'm just curious for those of you who are now listening in. My question to you is that do you have plans to pursue internet marketing full-time? Choose one. Time frame, yeah, within 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months. Now, of course, if you believe you're going to get fired very soon, then 3 months is your best time frame, yeah. But I didn't say 3 days, I said 3 months. Okay, there's a reason why I put 3 months as your shortest period, because there's a time frame for you to learn stuff and apply stuff. So 47% of you have voted, 52%. And with this polls, there's no such thing as a right or wrong answer. It's just for you to have an appreciation of the average response that we get as marketers. It's always interesting to know what fellow marketers think, and these polls help you have an appreciation as to people's mindset, whether you're part of the norm or you're not. And in this case, yeah, two wrongs do not make one right. That's because you see 63% of people spending less than $100 US. Doesn't mean that you should continue to put minimal investment in your internet marketing education. Yeah. So in this case, majority is not always right. Okay, let me say this. 81%, and we will close the vote in about 15 seconds time. Okay, so please help us help you to. I'll go and show the poll results, and then of course it's going to be more meaningful if you had voted. Yeah, if you didn't vote, then you wouldn't know where you stand. So help us vote right now, and when I close the poll, I will show you the results so that you can compare your position on the internet, on internet marketing versus the rest. Now, at this point, I will just say that there are 86% votes cast, and all the 5 sections have been answered. So there are people who want to pursue internet marketing full-time within 3 months, within 6 months, within 9 months, within 12 months, and who says, no, I don't want to do it full-time, which is a perfectly fine answer. Okay, as I said, there's no right or wrong to this approach. I'm going to close the poll now as we have 86% votes, and show you the results right away. So as you can see here, that a whopping 45% of you plan to pursue internet marketing within the next 3 months. Now, I'm not sure how much thought you put into that, but if I were you, if I was in that 45%, which constitutes 50% of votes cast, I would be very concerned about making sure I have all the knowledge I need to pursue internet marketing as a full-time business. And I'm not sure, for those of you who voted in this category, what's your level of skill set. Now, of course, if you've attended my trainings, then you have the knowledge. We want to continue to support you to achieve the goal. But just note that 90 days is, there's a lot you can do within 90 days. I mean, I just came back from Canada, as most of you know. I spent about 90 days there, and I did a lot of things within 90 days. So don't take time for granted, yes. There's of course a 6% of you who say that you do not want to pursue this full-time, and that's perfectly fine, because internet marketing can be a great part-time income, to pay your bills, to pay your handphone bills. And think about it. For some of you say, well, $200 I can't make a full-time living. Maybe true, but $200 can pay for many things. It can pay for your electricity bills. For those of you who are in the condominiums, it pays for your conservancy. And of course, as you know, it's not difficult at all to make $200 a month online. In fact, all the checks that I make that are this kind of numbers, I don't even look at it. So the point is that it is possible to supplement your existing income via the internet. 20% of you talk about within 12 months. That's a very realistic time frame, and the reason because you have a good 12 months or 365 days or 52 weeks to get your act together. And the first goal is for all of you to achieve what we call replacement income. What does it mean? That means that whatever you're earning right now, your goal is to, with whatever available time you have, is to spend those time trying to get a fraction of your income via the internet, because it will give you the confidence, it validates that you're on the right track. And if you are making, let's say, 30% of your income online versus your current pay, let me tell you this, you're good enough. You're probably good enough to leave your job and do it full time. Why? Because think about it. If you are currently spending 5 days a week, 40 hours a week, 5 days a week, 40 hours a week on your full time income, and yet can generate 30% of that income online, what if you had full time availability to focus on your business? Then suddenly 30% increases to 100%. So you see the math there, that the more time you devote into something, even though you're making 30% right now, I mean, in other words, if you're earning $3,000 a month and you're generating close to 1,000 US dollars a month, $1,000 Sing dollars, so that's about 700 USD a month. I mean, if you can just achieve 700 USD a month through whatever model, part-time, you have a good shot at doing it full-time. Because when you're doing it full-time, you should be spending 100% of your time generating internet income. So again, the numbers make sense, the numbers don't lie, and for many of you here, you don't have to make 5-figure income right now on the internet. You just need to show yourself that it is possible. Start generating your first $100, $500, and then move on from there. And if you have the full knowledge, it's going to be easier than you think. So I'm going to take your questions right now before we close the webinar. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. I'm just going to go through the questions in the order that they occur. So I think I have a ton of questions, and I'm just going to go through them from the top down. First one from Esther, thanking me for the webinar. You're very welcome. I totally appreciate the fact that you appreciate these sessions that we conduct. And the reason why I do a lot of free sessions is simply because I think it's time to give back. Yeah, for many of you out there who are making a good living online, and you've been fortunate to have led the internet lifestyle, it doesn't take a lot to give back to people and pay it forward, essentially. For Eric, his question is, as a beginner, in terms of quantity, volume, should we focus on 5,000 to 200, from 500 visitors to 2005 only, not more than that? Well, the real answer is that it really depends on your competition. Yeah, on your competition. But generally, demand. My answer is yes. You shouldn't try to attack a market where the demand is more than 2,500, because when you start attacking a larger market, you face much stiffer competition. Ron is asking, how do I check my website position in the search engine, like out of a million search results? Well, the way we do it is we use professional tools to basically enter a keyword and find out where we are in the search engines. But let's put it this way: if you don't find your website or your web page for the keyword you're targeting on page 1, page 2, or page 3, let's consider it as it does not exist. Okay, because it does not help you. It does not help that you're on page 5 or page 6 or page 7. You're not going to get traffic. You're not going to get traffic. So don't bother using a software, because it does not give you any additional info, even if you know that you're on page 10. Okay, if you're not on page 1, 2, or 3, well, there's a lot of work you need to do. So you start noticing and you start focusing and narrowing your SEO strategies once you at least get into the top 30 of the search results. From that point onwards, then you move forward. Okay, one is about the poll. Yep, thank you for your feedback. Now, $100,000 in 5 days. My example was a product launch, and certainly for a product launch, you can achieve that at $100,000 in 5 days. As I launched Edwards Empire during those days, and if you don't have your own product, I'm not sure how to advise you, because I don't think it's that simple to generate $100,000 in 5 days? Well, the only way is going to be pay-per-click marketing, and you probably need to have a capital of probably $100,000 if you want to hope to make that kind of money in 5 days. Okay, so your focus shouldn't be really on that kind of money. I mean, your focus is going to be $500. If you cannot even make $500, then think about making $100,000. For that matter, if you're not even making $100 a month, then why should you be worried about $5,000? You get what I'm trying to tell you. If you haven't generated even your first sale, you haven't even made a first dollar online, don't focus about how to make 10,000. You're just looking at the wrong scale. Okay. Well, this question is about competition. When you're creating a campaign to advertise an electric lawnmower from Amazon, is there any way I can find out whether there are any other affiliates? Well, there are, Arena. And as what you learned during the bootcamp, you need to use the ad preview tool, google.com/ad preview, type in the exact key phrase that you're competing with, and if you see another Amazon ad there, then you know that there's another affiliate already promoting that product. Unless you see only your ad, then you know that you are the person promoting it. Yeah, because Google has a one URL per keyword, and it will not allow more than one Amazon affiliate to advertise a product on a keyword. Okay, so Sachin, I'm not sure what your question is, but I do offer offline training, although most of the training is already complete for the first half of the year. I suggest that you get on our mailing list, join wrabook.com, sign up for our newsletter. There's a box for that, and then any other training we have, you will be notified. Okay, thanks for asking. Next point is that the examples I showed you are digital products. While not true, Edwards Empire was a physical product, and certainly the 5-step system that you learn applies to any product. In fact, it's not only products, it's products, services, and information. Okay, and regardless of whether it's physical or digital, the process of marketing is still the same. And the only complexity, the additional complexity you get when you sell physical products, of course, is going to be the fulfillment. How to send the product overseas if you're targeting the global market, and how to do it in a cost-effective manner would be your concern. So there are many types of products that doesn't do well in the global market, and t-shirt will be one example, and simply because if it costs so much money to ship the t-shirt, you don't have much margins. But t-shirts are a great product to sell in your local market. Yeah. Now of course, if you're selling premium t-shirts where they're customized and you have a good artist, yeah, then if I were you, I would research the market using free AdWords tool, type in custom t-shirts, and you'd be surprised that there are many good websites out there that will enable you to target people who are looking for customized t-shirts. And there are many reasons why people want to buy custom t-shirts. Could be as a birthday present, as a gift, so on and so forth. So if you are talented and you know someone who can create custom t-shirts, I think that is going to be a very interesting business to go into. And in many cases, if you are not in the US, you have a cost advantage, because the cost of you creating a custom t-shirt is going to be much lower than someone doing it in the United States. I didn't mention about eBay. You're right, because I'm not an expert in eBay. I have friends who are good at it, but this is not my expertise, unfortunately. So I'm not good at everything, and I can only advise you on my strengths. Next question by Janice: do I need a website for each product I sell via Amazon? Well, if you're doing direct linking, then quite frankly, you don't even need a website. You just need to learn how to the direct linking technique. We have tutorials in worldinternetacademy.com. If you're selling multiple products, then if the products are similar categories, for example, you have different types of barbecue gas grill, or different types of propane grills within the same theme, then one website will do. Now, of course, if you're selling DVDs and you're selling barbecue gas grills. I mean, these are very disconnected products. They're not even related, and therefore you should have separate websites to promote these products separately. Okay, but as far as possible, you should try to theme, and that means trying to find related products like DVD, physical DVDs and DVD players become related, right? Because DVDs becomes the product and the DVD players become related, and it makes sense to actually go into both markets if that's your plan. How to use a blog for Google AdSense? Well, it's first you need to have a blog. Then you need to sign up for Google AdSense account, which is google.com/AdSense. That's ADSENSE. And AdSense, when you sign up for AdSense, they will have a tutorials to teach you how to place the AdSense links onto your blog. But bear in mind that Google will visit your website or Blogspot and make sure that your Blogspot has some decent content. If not, they will not approve your AdSense application. Can you comment on eBay? Well, not right now, Terence. Good to see you around. Unfortunately, it's not something that I've done. And again, it's my practice not to share with you things that I have no real life experience on. I'm a good eBay buyer. I have good eBay deals, but I'm not an authority to comment on the subject. I can arrange for this at a future date and time. So, good question here. You spend time and money. How could we improve our internet knowledge and skill? The key here is in learning from the right people, learning the right skill set. Okay, so you have resources, you have tools, you have training, and it is it has to be your goal to find the right people to learn from and invest wisely in the right knowledge, skills, and resources. So next question, I'm not sure what you are asking. Without having to tend for production or shipping 24 hours. Okay, I'm sorry I can't answer your question. I'm not sure what it's asking about. Any other material? Well, Min, you need to focus on your basics again. That if you understand the 5-step system, you just have to focus on it and go deep. And time to go back to your basics, because everything that you need is within these 5 steps. Okay, and you're right, the webinars we have in WI, but almost forgot about it, are good resources for many of you here. This is my 5th or 6th webinar, and every single webinar that I've been conducting is now in wibook.com. Go down there, take notes, and review it. Most of the webinars are an hour and a half, 2 hours, so there's a lot of content there already. More webinars, absolutely, yeah. A match type in Google tool means that there's broad, phrase, and exact. For those of you who want to know more about keyword matching, here's what you do. Go to google.com and type in AdWords Learning Center. AdWords LearningCentr. That is Google's resource that teaches you for free basics like match type, keyword matching concepts. There's a good video tutorial on keyword matching concepts. Head over to Google AdWords Learning Center. Now, if you have 4 or 5 products of the same subject, then you need to figure out from a keyword research standpoint, from keyword perspective, the closest fit keyword for your products and services. Now, needless to say, if you have 5 different products, then each product should be on its own page when you're doing SEO. It could be your basic, deluxe, so on and so forth, yeah. But generally, for SEO, we do 1 page per product. Wow, what is SEO? Search engine optimization. Review this webinar, and hopefully I give you some answer, yeah. Andrew, thank you for your comment about being the summary. Rina, thank you again for your comment, yeah. So, Mr. Tang or Miss Tang, I receive a lot of internet marketing promotion, very hard to find the best marketer. You don't need to find the best marketer. You just need to find someone whom you can relate to. For example, if this webinar relates to you well, then spend more time in WIA book, be on my newsletter, WIA newsletter, and then when I have more training, I'm going to be conducting more webinars, attend the webinars, and follow me. I mean, if no one else to follow me, and you will find that I don't pitch products very often. When I do, they are very good products. like recently, pay-per-click formula launched by my friend uh, Gauhar Chaudhary, and I think it's a good product. You want to find out more information, you can go to pay-per-click-formula-secrets.com and go about figuring out what it's all about. But the point is that, you know, marketers who pitch often probably make a living pitching, and that is not a good model for you to follow. Okay, you can do it, but you should not do it. You should be adding value, and I think don't learn from the wrong people. So again, you know, resources, we have World Internet Academy, Terence, we have WIA book, we have webinars, and if you like this style of learning, there's always continuation training for advanced SEO, for example. I have advanced PPC training as well, and we're going to be changing some of the business models where we want to conduct more live training, live mentoring. You have to wait for us to reorganize in May, and after May, I'll be announcing various ways that you can learn, mainly through the online approach, because it's much cheaper and much more affordable for more people. So not a problem, Christine. You can review this webinar in its entirety, totally. Now, website design, honestly, you can find a lot online. If you're looking for mini site, the one that marketers use that's made of 5 pages, well, learn to Google for resources, and go to google.com and Google mini site designers. There are, of course, many out there, and for me, I choose mini site designers obviously based on the design quality, and that's how I do it, and I suggest you do it the same thing as well. But remember, all of you here, if you have a question, go to WIA book, ask us in the forum, and someone will give you the answer. Very hard to move the first step, absolutely. If you are totally lost, your first step is always the most difficult, but hopefully this webinar has given you the foundation. So same thing, wiabook.com, go to our forum and ask a question. For affiliates, you really have to join the affiliate program. So when you go to amazon.com, scroll all the way down, you see a link called Join Associates. Click on that link and sign up as an Amazon associate. So the best way to drive traffic, Rena, for Amazon, as I said, is going to be SEO, PPC, article marketing, all those things that you've learned in the bootcamp. Okay, so review your notes, and any questions, please go to WIA book Internet Bootcamp area and ask us questions. Harold, once you upload your web page, it does not mean that Google would automatically rank your website, because before your website can get ranked, it must be indexed in the search engine. Index means that it has to be found by Google first. Okay, so this is a common misconception. A lot of people think that just because you upload a web page, Google should find it and put you on page 1. Nothing can be further than the truth. You need to make sure that your site get indexed first, and site indexing, if you want to know more, well, you can go to google.com. Go in Google, now, how to get my site indexed in a search engine. You will find many tools and approaches over there. How to promote any products in WIA book. As I said, after May, come May, we are revamping our entire products and services. I'll be focusing more on affordable online training so that people around the world can benefit from the same quality training, and I will certainly be happy to update you. Now, traffic generation through blogging is exactly the same way as through SEO, that your blog has to have a certain purpose. And if you want to attract SEO traffic, then you have to do your keyword research and blog around the keywords you believe will attract the traffic itself. Okay, so now if you want to find out about your AdSense performance, you have to go back to google.com/AdSense to find out the reports that Google AdSense will offer you. Okay. It's difficult to submit to DMOZ because dmoz.org is made up of live people to review websites, and there are many people who unfortunately don't. Many of their editors are not active in DMOZ, so it can take you a couple of days to a couple of years to forever to get your website listed in DMOZ. They also have very high standards in DMOZ. Okay, so yes, to form a group, you can always go to the forum, wiabook.com, and go about doing stuff, yeah? So SEO training, well, my only SEO training is in April, and we have a webinar to to be talking about that. Make sure that you're subscribed to my newsletter. Yeah, worldinternetcaming.com newsletter. You can either sign up at wibook.com or directly from worldinternetcaming.com. Well, it's been 2 hours, and that's what my clock says. So I thank you for your time, and all of you. I hope that this webinar serves to encourage you. For those of you who are more experienced, or as a beginner, just understand that there are ways about starting a successful online business, and you'll be able to replay this webinar at wibook.com. And for those of you who are customers of Asia Dragon, you'll get a copy of this webinar to give it away to build your subscriber list. So I thank you for your time, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye for now, everyone.